What's up, YouTube? This is Swide, and I wanted to bring you guys just a quick video about the War of Clan Castles post-update. As many of you, I'm sure, have seen by now, people are starting to use what were previously relatively unconventional clan castle compositions because post-update, with the inclusion of the poison spell, regular CCs with witches and wizards and other tier 1 troops are completely irrelevant now. The poison spells negated any low health units in the CC because they can bring the poison spell in addition, and it's just going to beat them all down. Because of that, we are seeing more and more lava hounds, dragons, balloons, even a golem. In one war we saw P.E.K.K.A. with a giant. People are just putting high health units that are difficult to take down and that are relatively impervious to poison spells. So because of that, I've seen a number of people have trouble with pulling and dealing with a lava hound particularly out of the CC. I want to preface this video by saying Powerbang Gaming, who I talk with somewhat regularly, who I'm acquainted with fairly well, has already made a video that shows a few great and tested ways whereby you can deal with the lava hound out of the CC no problems by bringing a few extra wizards, by dropping your archer queen and taking care of it kind of one-on-one, by maybe using an extra rage spell or the like. Absolutely go check it out. I'll link it here in the video so you can click that. But Reddit Troopers has been using a couple other strategies that Powerbang didn't talk about, probably because he didn't want to make a 30-minute video for how to lure and kill a lava hound. So I thought that I would fill the gaps there and just make another video to supplement his. I've got about 3 or 4 different strategies that we've been using at Reddit Troopers to deal with lava hounds in the CCs. And if you haven't seen them or nobody in your clan has thought of them, these are really going to help you with them if you've been having trouble doing just that. So the first one I wanted to show, this is an attack by XCL. And what he's going to do here is just completely ignore the lava hound in the CC. His strategy, he's going to use an archer queen walk, which is a very popular strategy right now, just to head around the side of the base and to take care of defenses on that side of the base. So he doesn't need her to go in, and he doesn't want her to go in. So bringing a rage spell for her and some extra wizards for the lava hound is useless to him because that's not what he wants his queen for. Because of that, he just decides to bring a few extra witches, which are going to help him get deep into the base anyway. The skeletons will tank for the rest of his units. And this lava hound is just going to get caught either, in this case, on a golem or on the skeletons for the rest of the raid. It will just follow around, in this case, I guess, the golem, but usually it's the skeletons as well, and just sit on it and do that minimal amount of damage that it does, and there are no units around that can do a lot of damage to it. It won't pop because the queen is doing her thing around the side of the base. She's not anywhere near it, so won't get caught on it. No wizards are around it. He's using them only for cleanup. The only thing that'll shoot it are witches, and they don't do nearly enough damage to do anything to it. His hogs are through the base, and by the time the queen is going to see it, the raid's already over, and the damage that one lava hound does to a hog is completely negligible. So there's just nothing you have to worry about. You can absolutely just ignore the lava hound if your strategy doesn't require you killing it. You can see here he only brought 4 wizards because he absolutely didn't want to risk blowing that lava hound up, the pups following around his king, his golem, destroying his witches one by one, that sort of thing. So he just doesn't deal with it at all. That's a strategy that's kind of becoming, I think, more and more popular with the new queen AI because you can just walk your queen, like XCL did, around basically 1/2 of the base and just take out all this stuff by herself if you've got a few healers backing her up. The rest of your hybrid can cut a line through the middle to negate double giant bombs or do whatever, and your hogs can take care of the other side. This is, of course, if the base allows it, but it's absolutely one strategy you should consider when you know the enemy has a lava hound in their CC. Another strategy that I'd like to show you guys is includes a healer. This is a popular one. A lot of people have seen this on YouTube and other things, or minimally heard about it. But basically, what Isaac is going to do here is he uses just 2 hogs to lure the Lava Hound out of the CC. And then he's going to bring it up with a couple archers, and he'll drop a healer on those archers. A Lava Hound does more than half of the health of an archer in damage per attack, but the healer is just going to heal those archers up because a Lava Hound roughly takes 2 seconds or so in between little attacks. It's really like 1.5 seconds, but, you know. And while he's got it pinned up there, he's just going to go on with the rest of his raid. He completely ignores it. He drops, you know, his hybrid in this side, and then he's just going to hog from the top. And you saw up there, the Lava Hound and the archers still up there. The archers just don't do enough damage to it to pop it or to do anything. He drops some cleanup wizards around. One of the wizards is actually going to get caught on it up here, and so you'll see it pop just about now. But at that point, it's too late. The raid is over, and there is absolutely nothing that anyone can do about it. That is... Okay, so in a couple archers, you have to have at least 2 because the healer is not going to lock onto just one. There's something with the healer mechanics that force her to not latch onto something that takes 1 troop space, which I think is wise of Supercell. You don't want your healer following around 1 barbarian around the whole base while you're attacking. So you need at least 2. Has to be a group, and they have to be very close together, because if you drop your archers, say you dropped 1 here and 1 here, and you dropped a couple healers, they would not heal these because they're not close enough. They're not considered a group of units based on whatever the mechanic is. So you have to drop them close together. I tend to bring 3 archers because sometimes I'll drop them just slightly too far apart and the healer doesn't seem to see them. So then I'll drop another one, I'll try to get it in between, and then it sees them as a group. Just something you need to consider. A healer is 14 troop space, 2 to 3 archers, you know, 2 or 3 extra troop space, which is roughly the equivalent together of 4 wizards. 4 wizards is generally what it's going to require to take care of the Lava Hound out of the CC if you're just bringing some and you're bringing a rage spell to deal with it on the fly. But there are problems with that because, you know, if it pops, maybe your queen gets pulled a different way because of the pups, or your wizards, you know, if you brought those extra wizards and you dropped them with a rage on them, and they went ahead of the golems that were tanking, maybe they trip a giant bomb and they're gone, and your raid's in real peril at that point. Dropping a healer with a couple archers for the same price is actually a bit safer. The only problem with that is you can only do them on bases with anchor points. Trash buildings that are outside the range of any near point defenses that could potentially kill your archers, or in this case, I guess, target your healers. And the problem is a lot of bases aren't built like that. A lot of them have trash buildings directly up against the walls in range of all those point defenses that'll cause you problems. And there's not a lot of room for you to work with. Because of that, a lot of these strategies have their limitations, but the methods are powerful if you know when to use them. Another strategy I've used with some success, especially at Town Hall 9, is just bringing 7 or 8 extra archers. And sadly, I don't have a replay for this in the next luring strategy that I use because the replay time period has lapsed and I missed the moment to record. Some personal stuff came on and the replays are gone, but I still want to explain the strategies to you because they're important. They're just important variations that might help you in your wars. So one of them is bringing 7 or 8 archers, like I said, and just luring the Lava Hound, maybe killing a defense on the way, and then dropping those archers just outside with anchor, with buildings that you can anchor on. Again, like the healer archer strategy, this requires that the base allows for you to do that. And of course, specific designs are built to prevent that. But in this case, you only have to waste 7 or 8 troop space. The Lava Hound will... I guess the CC's here, isn't it? It'll come over to your archers, and because there's roughly 2 seconds in between each Lava Hound attack, it will kill each archer roughly after 32 seconds for 8 archers. Little quick math on the fly there. So you buy yourself 30 seconds. Generally speaking, as a Town Hall 9, for a La Lune attack, or perhaps if you're a Town Hall 9 attacking a Town Hall 10, 30 seconds is plenty of time for you to get your hybrid underway to take care of what you need to take care of in the raid. In a raid like this, let's say you were using some kind of Suicide King to take care of the queen, right? 30 seconds is plenty of time for you to do that. It also provides you an opportunity to be more ergonomic and efficient with your troop space, because you can't bring 4 extra wizards in a Laloon raid traditionally. You don't have 16 extra troop space. Same thing with the healer and 2 archers. You just don't have the troop space for it. This allows you to drop basically 1 balloon and 1 wizard and take care of the Lava Hound without having to deal with it at all. In Laloons particularly, sometimes you can just ignore the Lava Hound on the whole, and it's not going to be a problem. But if you're trying to go pretty deep with a kill squad or something, sometimes it's just better if you take care of it, move it to the side, and not have to worry about it through the rest of your raid. Another strategy I've used as a 9 attacking a Town Hall 10, when you're facing strong anti-3 Dragonflower bases with the Town Hall, let's say it's similar to this base and it's relatively exposed. Sometimes all you need is, 30 seconds or so to deal with the Town Hall and then to clean up trash buildings on the outside. If it's the case that the point defenses are too close to the outside for you to do that, I've brought minions, selectively placed them, wherever. I've done, I've pulled the Lava Hound one way or another. Usually I'll take a section of the base with a golem and wizards or whatever you decide to do. Maybe you can only burn a couple hogs to do it. And then I start cleaning up the trash that I need for the 50% on the Town Hall 10. The Lava Hound is then going to go to the nearest minion or whatever, archer if you can drop that. It's going to work on it, and then it's just going to bounce around to each other trash-killing small troop space unit that you drop. While it's doing that, you can come in from the other side, and it's obviously important you come in from the opposite side, because if your kill squad or your hybrid part of your raid is closer to the Lava Hound than the next unit is, the Lava Hound's going to redirect and head back. So if you're coming from the opposite side, that makes sure it's there further from the Lava Hound than the next unit is. And you buy yourself minute, maybe 2 minutes in the whole raid, while this Lava Hound, it takes 3 shots to kill a minion and a couple shots for each archer. And if you've dropped 4 archers and a couple minions over here that are out of range of all these point defenses on the inside of the base, you're buying yourself a minute of time in between travel time and kill time that you can deal with the rest of the base and then just slowly deal with the rest of the trash on the outside. Using a strategy like that, again, is much more cost-effective than having to burn another spell or having to bring 16 extra troop space to kill the Lava Hound, because you're just using units you had to bring anyway to clean the trash. You're basically allowing them to work on a building and kill it, and maybe move to the next building by the time the Lava Hound is working its way slowly but surely toward your actual kill squad, wherever that is. These are strategies, of course, that only work on particular bases and particular times, so absolutely choose the one that's right for you. Again, like Powerbang's video suggests, which I absolutely recommend you guys go watch, sometimes, and really 75% of the time, it's fine just bringing a couple extra wizards or bringing a rage spell for your kill squad to just deal with the Lava Hound on the fly, to do whatever you need to do with your golems, let the Lava Hound come out, get your queen and a few wizards under rage on it, and they're going to take care of it in 10 to 15 seconds. At Town Hall 10, and especially with high-level warring, really well-designed bases and things, there are times when you cannot take out the Lava Hound with your hybrid or on the way there, or the Lava Hound pops and its pups split and pull your units different directions. Or again, maybe you have some trouble with the wizards and they don't path the way you want, or they die before the Lava Hound goes down. And then you have pups following the rest of your units around for the whole raid. One thing you can definitely consider is dropping a poison spell on those extra pups as they start clumping together, and that'll take care of them in no time. But there are going to be other times where you want to save that poison spell for the skeleton traps or for some other purpose, and you don't want to waste it on those pups. So I just wanted to provide a few extra strategies for you guys to think about. Again, just a couple closing comments. You will absolutely need, for the healer archer method, at least 2 archers, and usually it's safer to bring 3 just in case. You don't want to drop a wizard because it's just going to kill it. Your healer will heal the wizard, and the wizard will kill it and then get killed by the pups, and then, you know, you've got 12 to 15 pups or whatever it is following the rest of your units around for the raid. And for the other types, you do have to have buildings that are anchorable. You can drop a minion or an archer on to bring the lava hound out to the side. Absolutely something to consider, and usually it is going to be safest just to take care of it on the fly. But these are some more advanced strategies if you guys are concerned about time, or if you're concerned about, you know, you've got low-level heroes and you're afraid that, especially for newer Town Hall 10s or lower-level Town Hall 9s, you're afraid that you simply aren't going to have the ability to take out a level 3 lava hound out of the CC and still finish the rest of your raid. So these are a couple other options for you to just occupy the lava hound, not even worry about killing it, and go on with the rest of your raid. Hopefully this was a helpful video for you guys. Again, it's really only meant to supplement Powerbang's video because his strategies are going to work 80% of the time. But these are worth a thought if you're planning your raid. I have another video for you guys out shortly, but until then, this is Swide from Reddit Troopers. You guys have a good one.